Evening all, and welcome back to Kerbalism. So Jeb, Bill and Bob are on their way home. They've got 7 days before they get down to their periapsis, so we've got a while for that to go on. I have been completing some contracts between them leaving Mimus and coming back here, so we've got a little bit more money and a bit more science. You can see here we're up to 1.7 million and 1,032. I'm not sure where the science is coming from because I'm only doing plane journeys around Kerbin. I do think that obviously I've not done the gravioli and seismic scanning places. That's probably where I'm taking it up from, but yeah, I've been flying through and doing all sorts of little bits and pieces, and there's some debris left over. There we go. But what I want to do is I want to expand our station. It needs a nuclear reactor. We have unlocked that new greenhouse. You'll see, where was it? Where was it? Down here we've unlocked the greenhouse, I think. Yep, we've also got a storm cellar. I'm not sure. It says the Kerbals can hide in there. We've got an agriculture module. That's supposed to be another form of greenhouse. It's supposed to produce food, but it doesn't. So what I've actually done with that is I've made a copy of that via a module manager patch and turned it into an extraplanetary launchpad workshop because it looks cool. The model looks really good. Let me show you. There it is. I'm not sure what category is that on. It does come out there. We have the aqua. There's the aquaculture module. That is, as it says from the tooltip, for additional food production. I assume it's supposed to produce like fish or something. Be an aqua one, or maybe not. Maybe be aquaponics. I don't know. But it doesn't actually work with Kerbalism. It's got no greenhouse setting in it whatsoever. So I just copied it, made another version of it. It's exactly the same because I like the model. It looks good. And that is a workshop. It's an extraplanetary's workshop. So if we want to build things on the station, we can. So I'm going to design a craft to build go up to our station with a greenhouse, that workshop, and a nuclear reactor on it, and we shall launch that. And away she goes. Almost 1 million credits worth of stuff on this rocket. It's mostly the nuclear reactor. That is quite an expensive thing. So and it's very heavy, hence the many large rocket boosters underneath it. But it has enough delta V to actually probably get to about Duna. So it's definitely going to get to our station. And here we are at the station. Slow down a little bit more here. This is rather heavy, as you can probably guess from having a Prometheus nuclear reactor parked down there. It's quite heavy, quite wieldy. I did put the reaction wheel right near to that there. I had a thing in my head that you put reaction wheels closer to the centre of mass, they work better. And then as I'm flying this, my brain's going, no, it should be the furthest away from the mass so you get the most effect from them. I don't even know whether that matters for Kerbal Space Program, to be honest with you, and I don't even know how it works in real life because I've confused myself thinking about it. But yeah, that was the reason I put it down there. I was going to put one in each segment, but I thought that's just overkill. It's not really needed. So we want to dock with that there. And we also want to make sure we dock in a way where our radiators can expand without hitting those fuel tanks. So let's do this sort of thing. Come to a almost stop. We do have Werner engines on here, which do apparently work. Awesome, although I don't have any Werner engines on the back, so I'm going to shut all these down to 10%. In fact, I'm going to shut 2 of them down to 10%, and then we're going to turn off the other 2. That should give me the sort of control I want. Okay, so let's point upwards. Up is relative in space, but let's point north in parallel to the planet we are orbiting. and then I know that this is also pointing the same sort of direction. Down onto a stop here, and just to make double sure, I shall point that up as well. It doesn't really matter which way we connect to this port. It is one of those construction ports, but so long as we do it so that our radiators can poke in between these. I don't think you'll need to. I think this is going to poke out the bottom way too far, but I still want to do that just in case we expand later on or something. Don't know. Right, so we need to go, let's spin this around. So up is north, is not north, but that doesn't matter. Not up is north, sorry. So that it's level on the nav ball. That's what I'm trying to do. It makes sense in my head. Right. Unfortunately, you can't change these to no, you can't change them. With reaction wheels, you can change them to be normal, which means I control them. SES means I have no control and it only runs with SES. And pilot means I have control but the SES does nothing with them. I was just thinking, if I could do that for those Werner engines, then I would control the craft going around, and the SAS, when it's trying to line up the craft to point the way I want it again, would only work on reaction wheels. But you can't do that, so it's a moot point. A moot point, a moo point, depending on if you're Joey. Let's get really confused now. Hold on. You see, the SAS is fighting me there, trying to keep the craft level. Because every time I fire it, obviously the engine's down here, so it spins it off its axis, and then it fires these ones to level it out, which pushes me the opposite direction, which is not what we want. Not what we want at all. Right, so I'm going to level up after like so, and then I'm going to go to this one, and I'm going to do exactly the same. We are going to spin around, hopefully. Do we have the electric charge? Yes, we do. Hopefully we can kind of stop where we want to go. We'll retract that as well because it looks odd. And I could have done the opposite way around. It wouldn't have mattered, but I'm leveling it up. Just it makes sense in my head. If the two craft are facing exactly the same way and have exactly the same orientation, then I'm pretty confident that when I dock them together, they will be in the same orientation. Because the construction ports as well, they can spin things around, but they do cause explosions, which is not really what anyone wants. You see, if I then spin that and line that up level with the horizon, which is all relative because it's odd, but you'll see our radiator points directly down and our fuel tanks are at 45-degree angles, so that works. Okay, all I gotta do is keep it level. Speed up time a little bit here. The sun has come out, which is good. into docking mode now, so it's a bit slower. And we will go up because that's the way we want to go. 0.5 meter a second is way too fast for docking in real life. Pretty sure for the ISS they use millimeters a second. But fortunately for us, we don't have to worry about that because we have uber strong, powerful, oh my god, magnets, which I think are the only thing that will defend Kerbal kind from the Kraken. If the Kraken actually came to eat Kerbin, they would use these magnets and fling it into the middle of nowhere. Probably why the Kraken only strikes craft in orbit. Wow, we are miles off there. Look at that. Absolutely miles off. Let's bounce. Let's hit that and bounce off. There we are. And then I need to figure out which way is which. I'm going to go that way. That looks it. Ah. And there we go. Hopefully hold it. Ooh. I want to kind of keep my rotation straight because I know, as I said, these construction ports can be really funny when it comes to orientation. Okay, why are you not connecting? Ah, there we go. Turn the engine off. It connects. Awesome sauce. There we are. We now have our radiators pointing in the right directions. Not that it particularly matters. They're not actually pointing in the right direction, I've just noticed. They are actually off, which is confusing because I could have sworn that that was... Ah, no, of course. Of course. As we've gone around the planet, this has rotated. So, yeah, because it will not stay the way it was. Ah, that's foolish of me. Oh well, we can fix that. Right. First and foremost, we stole fuel out of one of these tanks, didn't we? That one there. Let's put it back. We'll have to use the resource panel for this. So in and in, and out and out. That's going to completely fuel that tank and leave loads left in there. I want to deorbit this, but that's a lot of fuel to be wasting. So it might stay for the minute. It might have to stay for the minute. So what I want to do is I want to dock these two together, and I want to also rotate. Compress parts and rotate. But that does cause explosive interestingness. So let's save it because I know what this does. And we will try and clamp and rotate and see what happens, shall we? Let's aim our camera a bit further. Oh, a bit further up. What have I done with the camera? That's better. There we go. So let's here we go. Compress and rotate. Oh, explosions, explosions, explosions. You can see all the parts are spinning like absolute nutters. But the good news is that any crew that was on board would have survived that. But yeah. Okay, let's reload. I know obviously reloading isn't very realistic, and it's not something I normally do. Excuse me. It's not something I normally do. If a craft goes wrong on the way up or something goes on with it, I don't reload the game. I don't reset it back to bits and pieces. But I do know that this sort of thing, it wouldn't be like this. It would be, they would align this all perfectly well. Everything would be fine. when you're constructing in space, and they connect it, and it would be millimeters different. So what we're going to have to do instead is put this back on the horizon, undock, rotate around, and redock. Try and get ourselves where we want to be. In fact, I should control from here, shouldn't I? Let's control from here, because that is 180 degrees off, which explains why it's trying to rotate 180 degrees on the connection. Okay. Right, that looks a lot better. That looks almost lined up there. That looks almost perfect. I think it is going to be ever so slightly off, but that shouldn't matter. So we shall do the same. We shall save the game, because again, I don't feel as if that's cheating, because that is a weldable part which does have issues. I know that. And then we will compress and rotate, and it connects. It connects, awesome, and that just lines it up 100%, so everything's perfect. Awesome sauce. Right, so we could turn on the nuclear reactor. We can't extend those because we have these here. Can't undock them, can you? No, you can't. Obviously I had designed this to return back to Kerbin or just burn up in the atmosphere, but I didn't think it would have that much fuel left. So kind of don't want to waste that fuel. I think we're going to leave this as it is. We have a laboratory. We have a workshop. We have a hydroponics module. Actually, that one's called aquaponics. So I guess that is actual like fish or something. Sorry, that one. We'll enable the greenhouse. That can start coming. 200 days and it will grow and everything will work. I had toyed with the idea, I don't know if you remember a while ago, I was trying to get my eating and breathing, eating and drinking, sorry, to be done over time rather than in segments. At the moment, Kerbalism works on segments. It works on every so many hours, so many Kerbal hours, a Kerbal eats food and it takes a bit off, and takes a bit off, takes a bit off. I want to change it so that they eat food steadily over time, so that you have actual physical numbers to see what's going on here. And then the greenhouse could be the same. It could produce food slowly over time, so you haven't got a harvest option. It just slowly produces as it goes on. And then you'd have to balance out food with that, because that's not how it would be. I suppose you would actually have harvests, but a hydroponics bay would have many different things inside it. It wouldn't just have one crop which harvests every 200 days. You'd have berries and things which can work over a few weeks or so. There'd be a constant supply of food coming out of it to refill the stocks. I'm guessing. I don't know. I've never lived on a space station, so I don't know. But anyway, there we are. Success. We have a nuclear reactor on our station, all sat there ready to go and get its bits and pieces done. And we could use this as a staging point to go much further, like Luna, for instance. That's going to be our focus somewhat soon. We have Moho and Jewel coming up, although Jewel's a bit ambitious. Maybe we can send a probe. Yeah, send a probe. Luna, I want to send Kerbals too, but to do that, we would need to unlock deep space freezers, deep freeze, which I'm not sure if we can or not yet. So here in our research and development, we have 1,000 researched to go. There is deep freeze. there is the cryogenic freezing chamber. Another cryogenic freezing chamber. I don't know. I think that one's in line, and that one is I don't know. I don't know what the difference is. Yeah, I think that one's in line. That one has like an external port, and that one's designed to go inside a cargo bay. Okay. And obviously glycerol is what's used to freeze Kerbals. I'm surprised it's not called glycerol, to be honest with you. And then we have the cryogenic freezing chamber, which can freeze 3 crew, and we've got the big one which freezes 10 crew. We can't get those because that's 1,000. We only have 1,000. That's 550. Is there anything else you want to build? The Phoebe orbital command pod. Ooh. Ooh. Obviously we have near future installed now, so we've got lots of new things, and we've got these flight control. I don't understand what half of those are, to be honest with you. Advanced computer systems and microelectronics provide an even better spacecraft control. Can you slap that on your craft and it upgrades your probe? Is that what it does? Probably. We also have this, the construction drone. It's something I was interested in before. That allows you to build spaceships in space using extraplanetary launch pads without engineers. You don't need an engineer to build things. It will build things on its own. Also, we've got some really deep space relays, which would be quite useful, especially if we're going to duel. There are many things which are quite useful here. There's also that one, the safer nuclear reactor, or fission reactor. This one is. It produces a lot more electricity than the yeah, because it's 125 electricity a second, so it's twice as powerful as that mini one. Is that right? What does that produce? 60, yeah, 60. So it's twice as powerful as the mini one. Requires a lot more cooling, though. It's a lot more cooling. But it's in the same sort of size as that one, I believe. Though I've not unlocked it yet, so I don't know. And we've also got loads of solar panels. So let's unlock deep freeze. Let's do that because that's done then. And heat exchangers could be quite useful, I suppose. Certain things. Solar arrays. Solar still works on Duna, so we could go the solar route. That would be fine. What else have we got up here? Modules, wheels. Wheels could be useful for driving around on there. Something as well which I read, which I haven't tested. I don't know if it's correct. Well, I read it on the official construction forum post. The actual, if anybody's watched my previous series, you'll know that I had loads of issues with the crane and the magnet trying to build bases. To the point where I just changed Kerbal attachment system to allow me to lift 10 tons in one go so I could build a base on Mimbus. Apparently, if you have a forklift or a crane with a magnet nearby that works, it will boost your Kerbals. So the crane there will be the equivalent of having 4 or 5 Kerbals in the area. So then you can just lift things up with the Kerbals and it will go around. Which I didn't know. I don't know if that's correct or not, or whether that's something that they were planning on doing, or wishful thinking. I don't know. But I would have to try that at some point. Many other things to unlock here. With that, magnets and adapters, cluster engine mounts. These bits and pieces here. Nuclear storage. The Whirligig nuclear reactor. What nuclear reapers? Oh, that takes in depleted uranium and produces enriched ones. Don't have to worry about that for the time being, I don't think. I would like to unlock one of these, particularly the flat fission reactor. That would be really nice to send on a deep a probe over to Duna, I think. But I'm getting ahead of myself. These are in the 1,000 range. We don't even have enough to unlock one other thing yet. So yeah, I think the next thing to do is basically going to be fast forward time and get Jeb, Bill and Bob back. 7 days later, our brave Kerbals re-enter the atmosphere. quite confident that the UFO is going to survive re-entry at quite a high speed, because although I did slow down in orbit, I didn't slow down that much. I think our apparatus is still out somewhere close to the moon, so this is quite a high re-entry. But it should be fine, if maybe a little bit warm. And with the sun setting in the background, we are through the thick of, or through the thin of the atmosphere and into the thick. We will hopefully come gliding down nice and gently. These do glide really, really well. I think I've said that before. Yeah, we'll come gliding down. We'll land over there somewhere, and Bill and Bob will finally feel the solid ground again. They've not been gone for too long, but obviously they were stranded for a little while. And here we are on final approach. I can't actually see a great deal because it's really dark, but I know the ground's down there somewhere because it's starting to light up, which is good. And we are 100 meters off the ground, so let's pull up a little bit. These do glide. Again, this is the third time I think I've said it this episode. These glide so well. Unbelievable. You put the nose on the horizon and they just glide for ages. Which is fantastic. I mean, we're right now at 60 meters a second, and I could still pitch up and actually get a nose up, which is, it's unbelievable how well these do glide. Now we know why aliens will visit us with flying saucers, because they can just glide around and not worry about using their engines. Stealth mode, and ooh, they do bounce, however, on the landing gear. There we go. There we go. We are down. Awesome. Deb, Bob, Bill, welcome home. And they don't bring with them a great deal, but that's because they transmitted pretty much everything back before. But yeah. Oh, looks like one of our got 2 XP there, which is awesome. Which is very, very awesome. Okay, so we have upgraded the StarBase. We have brought Jeb, Bill and Bob back. Next on the list is the asteroid. So we need to build something to grab an asteroid. It's a good job we've done that before. Asteroid grabbers don't have to be complicated. You basically need a claw, a decent reaction wheels and power system, and a big engine. And that's really it. You go up to the asteroid, you grab it, and then you turn around and fire the engine to slow it down or do whatever you need to do. So it's quite basic and quite easy to build one. Getting into orbit is not so easy because obviously it needs a lot of fuel. I suppose I could take it to the StarBase and dock it there for fuel, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to build a great big rocket, launch it all off in one sort of go, and let it sort of just get there to do with it. You'll see I'm using stage recovery a lot. I don't normally show me building crafts because I'm so indecisive when building them. Sort of put bits here and there and everywhere. But obviously just sticking loads of parachutes on it, making sure that stage recovery says it's going to be recovered above sort of 95%, and it's good to go. And we shall launch this in the next episode. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Hope to see you again next time, and until then, as always, have fun.